Okay, Cheryl.
Which way do I face? I face, thank you. Pardon my back. Thank you very much, all of you, for coming out this evening. That's the first and foremost thing I want to say. This has been a tough 3 months in developing a budget and trying to see what we can keep, what we can save, what we can do, how we can restructure ourselves in order to maintain a maximum learning environment for you, your children, for the entire community. So thank you. Listen, you've got questions. We are more than happy to listen to you and also to answer your questions specifically. So just give me a couple of minutes to get through this. Should I flip that around?
Yeah. Need it right above. Now let's go back
A little better.
How do you get that started? From here? Is there a book in it? The screen.
Yeah, he's done.
Yeah, you're going to be repeating it, I think.
They'll be able to read it.
There we go. You get a first slide up so we can see if everything's down there. Cheryl, can we get a first slide to see if we have all the information can be read on that? Just get a...
Your first slide.
Just get a slide with data on it. It's falling off the screen. You need one for at least everybody.
There you go.
Okay.
You're good. You're fine.
Excuse me, they have to just move the screen in the street.
That's it. Should be all right.
Okay, camera.
By the time we figure it out. You're good.
Bear with me because I can't see you with my glasses on, but I can't read my notes with my glasses off, okay? First of all, I just want to remind the Board of Education that its goal of the members is to improve the education of Torrington's children and to advocate for them in their best interest. This is by your bylaws, and to understand that your first and greatest concern is the educational welfare of the students and that all decisions must be based on this understanding. These are the faces of the students of Torrington Public Schools, our clientele, the children that we are hired to serve and to provide the best learning environment possible. These children will be the future residents, employers, taxpayers, and leaders of Torrington, who will become viable adults and the main contributors to the greater community. Working in collaboration, it becomes the responsibility of Torrington Public Schools, the families, and the community in general to contribute to their growth, development, and education, and to provide the environment in which these children can thrive and learn. What are the mainstays of a learning environment? First and foremost, a safe, welcoming environment where students can take risks, because learning is a very risk-taking adventure. Second, an outstanding faculty, staff, and administration who have in-depth knowledge of pedagogy and are quite capable of implementing theory to practice, all while keeping children's social, emotional, physical, and academic needs in the forefront of their work. Third, we need a quality ratio of teachers to students that allows for differentiated instruction, one-on-one, and small group learning. And fourth, the right tools to do the work. But to maintain these expectations offers challenges. They cost money, and the Torrington Public Schools and the Board of Education have worked diligently to maintain a zero budget over the past 2 years. How is that done? As you can see here, primarily through the reduction of faculty, staff, and other employees and programming. In this slide, you can see in 2009-10, in each category where we've reduced, and the number we've reduced in administration, certified and non-certified. With the current proposal, over the past 3 years, we have reduced 5 administration, 23.97 certified teachers, and 32.02 non-certified staff, which includes paras, custodians, and secretaries. Now, what other cost-saving measures have we done over the years? We've restructured secretaries. They've gone from 12-month to 10-month employees. We've reduced in general enrichment funds. We had 60,000. We've been down to 30,000. We've removed educational programming. The Apple program at the middle school that was for academically gifted and talented students. We've removed Upward Bound, Core Plus, because these were for regular education students but who might be at risk for dropping out of school. We've begun sharing services with the city. Currently, our Director of Technology serves both the city and the schools. We're all the city, you know, the city side and the school side, but we are all part of the city. We've been working diligently for the past 3 years to return students with special needs back to the district, rather than having them tuitioned out to other programs. However, this also comes with a cost, because as we bring more children back, we also need teachers to provide the services, the mandated services for these students. So in our process of bringing back, we've saved a lot of money, but it's still, our programs are growing. And as you grow your programs, you need teachers and support staff. We've had great input from our bargaining units for 0 wage increases for 2 years in a row. But, like with any budget, just like your home budget, we have increases which we have absolutely no control over as we go into the 12-13 budget. We have facilities, our utilities, facilities, sewer, oil, and electricity up $119,000 plus. We have technology, fiber equipment, licensing. We need to really look at our infrastructure, $272,000 plus. Special education, tuition, tutors, transportation, a summer school, which again is mandated for children with special needs, $518,000 plus. Athletics, it was recommended to add another comparable team. It was $45,659. District-wide, our health insurance, transportation, we have to add another bus. We have plenty of buses on the road already. Substitutes, stipends, positions that were at one time grant funded. We've had federal funded positions for the past 4 years. first through the ERA funds and then through the education job programs. Gone. I mean, it's just $1 million just from last year to this year with the cuts. So where do you find $1 million where you have added important faculty and staff, you know, and people in key positions to that faculty and staff, and now can they be absorbed by the general budget? And capital, $79,507. We cannot neglect our buildings. We are responsible for the upkeep and maintenance of our buildings. And we have many things that need to be replaced or repaired. It's, you know, do we need a new roof? Do we need a new boiler? Do we need new windows? It's things that we just don't have control over, and because the past few years have been so difficult economically, we've deferred. And one of the directives from the board this year was we are, sorry, I didn't realize people are over there too. We are not going to, you know, cut the capital anymore. We have to take care of our buildings. And it goes back to one of the first essentials. Do we have safe environments for our children to come to every day? So, here were the superintendent's proposed options for reducing the budget. Not going to zero, just reducing the budget. This is the critical element here, and this is what everybody needs to understand. We already know that we could be receiving up to $468 in education cost sharing from the state this year. That's a plus. So that will mean more money into the general fund. We can align the school's calendar to the state calendar. And because we provide transportation for students who attend Oliver Wolcott, and if we have the same calendar and vacation days and things like that, we can save up to $40,000. Easy. Families provide supplies. Many parents and families and principals have come forward and said, look, if we said we'd like #2 pencils and a box of Crayola crayons, and we could do this. We could do this. We would always provide for anybody who could not, but we figured we could save about $20,000 that way. Principals stepped up and said we can reduce some instructional resources and dues and fees. And when we talk about instructional resources, it might be paper that's instructional work. It might be a workbook that they feel, gee, we really don't use the whole thing. We'll just, we know the pages we'll use, or we can create our own worksheet. Fees, these are professional organizations that we belong to that allow students to participate in competitions and other kinds of programs. We'd find the money for that, they said. We're going to reduce field trip transportation at the high school. Currently, K through 8, if they're going somewhere and doing something, a field site investigation, a competition, if they're participating in anything outside the school, the cost for the bus is always built into the cost of the field trip. The high school will now have to do that. Reduction of the late bus at TMS. We used to run it 3 days, now we'll be running it 2. And this is for extra homework help. It might be if a student is participating in an after-school club or program, might be detention, whatever that they have to stay after school for. It'll be on 2 days instead of 3. We are replacing the chiller at Torrington Middle School. Yes. And that we went out to bid. We found, we worked with NextGen and Connecticut Light and Power, and what we're looking at is that we will get an incentive, because this is an energy saving incentive. With that, $100,000 that we thought we would need for the cost of replacing the chiller, you know, as it carried over. It'll be done this summer because you can't do it when students are in the building. We thought we would need to have carryover into the next year, and we have the cost. We have plenty of money in this year's budget, and so there's $100,000 that we can take off. That was right there, at that point, that was the superintendent's recommendation. That left us, though, correct me, Danielle, at 4.09% of an increase? 4.12% increase in the school budget. What we did over 4 hours the other evening in the subcommittee of the budget, the subcommittee of the board, the budget committee, they said, you know what, we've got to push a little more. I brought a list to them that would get us down to 0. But I also said that if we went to 0, we would not have a school district left. And so they said, well, again, can we restructure? What can we do differently? How can we make this work and maybe just cut it a little bit more? So what we came up with the other night, and this was everybody working, talking, for those of you who were there, you know there was a lot of dialogue going back and forth, was to reduce 2.5 FTE teachers from Torrington High School and to reduce 4 FTE from the elementary level. That means it could be a classroom teacher, it could be a support staff, and it, you know, it's across the district. It might be a half a position here and a half a position there, and the principals, you know, kicking and screaming and fighting for their school said, okay, we'll make it work. So the total cost of reductions proposed, now the board's saying this is what we're going to reduce, is $1,002,000, which is, Danielle, what's the percent we got down to?
0 by all the reductions, or
No.
just from the superintendent?
Just from the superintendent's-
4.21.
No, and after then when we went down to the board's added pieces, the
3.59.
3.59. So that's where we are right now, at a 3.59 reduction. And that is what we will take to City Council and to the Finance Board. Now, if, and I do mean if, and I've been practicing working, shaking hands, not this way, okay? So, if we had to go to 0, here it is. Pay for participation in athletics, $405,000. Pay for participation in music, $236,000. I can read big numbers, but I'm not going, you can read big numbers too. Eliminate all of general enrichment. This is something that we provide for K through 5 across the board, every grade level, multiple programs, $30,000. We would cut $50,000 from the technology budget. We need every penny we have in that technology budget because with the changes in the school reform bill that, you know, when it becomes reality is coming down, well, it's going to happen whether we want it to happen or not. Our students will be assessed on computers for their, you know, now we do CMT and CAP, and we're in the middle of it right now. We will be doing it all on a computer. It will be a whole totally different assessment system. So we need technology. We need a strong infrastructure so that it works well. Eliminate the Latin program at the high school, $80,000. Reduction of 1 guidance counselor at THS, $50,000. Reduction of 2 full-time equivalents at Torrington Middle School, $100,000. Reduction of 2 more teachers at the high school. Reduce library and media specialist, K-8, $175,000. Reduction of 1 support faculty in each elementary school, $250,000. Reduction of 1 elementary assistant principal, $102,000. Reduction of 1 full-time guidance counselor at Torrington Middle School, $50,000. 5 furlough days for each staff, $594,624. And then 2 programs, elementary art and world languages at Torrington Middle School. That is not proposed. You hear me? Those last things I said, I'm sorry, I don't mean to say it that way, but they are not proposed by the superintendent nor the Board of Education. But because we were asked, get to zero increase, that's what it would entail. With the elimination of faculty, administration, and staff, the current student services and programs will have to be restructured, provided on a much limited basis, or not provided at all. These cuts not only disrupt the education component of each school, but the elements that guarantee each student's safety and wellness. And good conscience, as an educator for years, I can neither recommend nor support these options. A zero decrease is yet to be reached, and these options right now leave the budget at 1.41% increase. And you've got the 2 last, which would bring us down to 0. I left a blank screen here because I want to say this to you. The quality of an education program of a community is what attracts new businesses and homeowners to the community. The quality of a community is only as good as the education it provides for its youngest citizens, because they are the future residents, taxpayers, business owners, voters, and leaders. The better Torrington Public Schools can prepare its youngest citizens for the future world of work, the better the entire city will be. Educating Torrington's children is an investment in the future. We have to get this message out to every resident. Research has shown that for each dollar invested in a quality education for a child, payback will be $18 per dollar if that child graduates high school. The payback increases significantly if a student continues his or her education by attending a post-secondary college, university, or technical school. Therefore, I ask you to carefully study this budget. I will have it online. And ask yourself what components you believe can be reduced or eliminated and still be in the best interest of its youngest citizens and the future of the city of Torrington. Thank you.